Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie here, and I play Dead by Daylight, so you don't have to. Let's check it out, bruh. The entirety of the patch has finally been put out. We got every add-on change, so it's worth looking at it again one more time. After reading the whole thing once before coming on here, this patch is definitely not the best patch in the game's history, but, it's still pretty good. Some of the killers were overlooked a little bit. Even the ones that got some tweaks were a bit overlooked, and Ghostface in particular, I don't think the devs know what to do with yet, but we'll get to him when we get there. So they're adding the new survivor, Michaela Reed, another female survivor. We'll get to her perks. They're down here somewhere. They have their descriptions, everything that we kind of already went over, we won't go over. The keys were nerfed, if you didn't figure that, if you don't remember that. The keys are dead now, they're dead. Trapper. Okay, so here's the first set. Okay. Bear trap carrying capacity and starting traps increased to 2 was 1. Trap ore color changed from red to white to be consistent with all the killer objects, okay. Number of traps are always 6. Trapper glove setting speed bonus increased to 30 was 20. Escape modifier, 33 increased to rescue and escape time. Rarity decreased to uncommon. Okay, so they moved that wax brick down to yellow. Trapper bag, reduced number of additional traps to 1 was 2. Now it's, uncommon again. So they made trapper bag an uncommon. From rare from uncommon. Okay, so the yellow bag is now green. Secondary toil, increased trap disarm time to 50%, that's not gonna do much. Trap escape modifier removed, 25% increase to rescue and escape time, that they moved that down to green. Okay, I don't see that doing much either. Oily coil, when resetting a bear trap, reveal the aura of most recent survivor to disarm it for 5 seconds. Ooh, that's cute. I actually kind of like that. That one might be pretty good. Because I think one thing that a lot of Trapper players are going to start seeing, especially at high MMR, is that a game where your power is just not going to be very useful. You might get like 1 or God forbid 0 traps. A lot of my Trapper games have been very, very dead recently. Not that we're not putting the traps at the right spots and all, but it's just maximum 2 is all you're going to be seeing when you get to high MMR games. So benefits to resetting after disarmament, that might be pretty good. So I like that one a little bit. Because that's a cross-map aura reveal. That's pretty neat. Trapper sack. Bear traps are carried at the beginning of the trial. And okay, so yeah, that's the one where you start with all 10. That one's definitely one to keep an eye on. And that one's the one we might tier him with if it's as good as I think it's going to be. Bear oil. Setting up a bear trap is silent. I don't know how much utility that's going to have, but we'll see. That one's interesting, but I don't think it's going to be that great. New add-on, makeshift wrap. This is the one I said they should have done with padded jaws. The trapper cannot be caught by his bear traps. That's another interesting one. I said that should have been padded jaws, but we can't have nice things. The bear trap will be disarmed if the trapper steps on it. That doesn't even have a cooldown, so you could that's actually good. It can answer the shitty dead hearts that go over the... He now has an answer for the shitty fucking dead hearts that go over his shit. And he doesn't have to, like... It answers those situations where if you want to get inside the shack or something, and there's all 3 of them are down, or you want to get outside of the shack, you can just run straight through it and then turn around and reset. It saves you a little bit of time. So that's interesting. New add-on, coffee grinds. Gain a 5% haste status effect for 5 seconds after setting a bear trap. That's interesting right there as well. That's going to be used in builds where you, like, want to be resetting all the time. So that's interesting. You get 5% more movement speed. So, it kind of makes up some of those, because, like, any survivor that sees you setting a trap is going to, actually be beginning a transition. So, what that can do for you, though, ladies and gentlemen, is if you combine that with the purple one for massively increased speed, you can potentially make up some distance after you set a trap at a pallet or something. That's actually going to be interesting. It's going to encourage a lot of pre-drops in your face when you set a trap, which I've seen, a lot of the higher MMR survivors are starting to do that anyway, but that's an interesting one. Lengthened jaws, bear traps inflict deep wounds on survivors. That should just be fucking base. Tension springs. The bear trap resets after a survivor escapes it. The following add-ons have been removed. Strong coil spring trap setters, logwood die. setting tools stitched back. So they have the other die still, right? Okay. The Trapper is Dead by Daylight's oldest killer, and he needed some love to bring him up to our modern standard of play. Many of these changes are focused around bringing him in line with how the rest of the killers behave. Traps have been balanced to provide a more consistent game experience, and his add-ons have been overhauled to give a greater variety of options. This was a success. Not that Trapper's going to be top-tier broken OP, but I think the character now is in a better state, and he's ready for the bomb to be dropped. A lot of these killers, ladies and gentlemen, they don't need to be good right now. They need to be prepared for when the bomb drops. Because when that hydrogen bomb drops on the survivors, I still think that's coming. That's the only reason I'm not shitting on all of this. Like, a lot of people a lot of people after reading a lot of the stuff are now kind of turning on the patch. I'm not turned on the patch yet because I don't think these killers need to be good yet. I think they need to be in a spot where when the bomb drops, they're ready to go. Because I still think there is a bomb dropping in 6 months, maximum. I think there is a survivor nerf coming that is going to shake the game's foundation. I don't know. It's still tinfoil speculation, but we don't need Trapper to be great in this kit because then we just have to nerf him. We don't need to. He doesn't need to be great in this core because then they just have to nerf him. The bomb is coming. I feel like I'm the fucking crazy Christian guy on the side of the road with a Bible screaming about Judgment Day. Because I think it's coming! I really do! So I haven't turned on this yet because I want to trust the process that I've been advocating for 6 months. 2 years, whatever it's been. I've been advocating for MMR balancing for a long time, so I want to give it a little more time before I turn on it myself and try to meet them halfway on what's going on here. Overall, I think this was a pretty decent set of buffs. I think the Trapper does have some more options now. You will not see a bag every single game. The bags are still going to be good, don't get me wrong, but like I think that purple one is a very standout option. As well as the 5% haste after setting a trap combined with the setting traps a lot faster, you could potentially get some cheeky basic attacks with that one. And then the one where you can run over your traps, that might not be too bad. I think he has some stuff to fool around with. Not that any of it's going to be like fantastic, but he's got some stuff to fool around with now. Wraith, uncloaking speed boost duration reduced to 1 second was 1.25 seconds because Wraith's base kit was so great. And then All-Seeing Blood, Aura Reveal decreased to 8 from 12. They didn't remove it, so it's still going to be great. I don't know why they didn't just remove it. I thought that was going to destroy him. Like I thought they were gonna crush that add-on. So the fact that it's still here means it's still gonna be great. Bubba's 1 for 8 meters is really good, so that's not gonna hurt the add-ons usage pretty much at all, I don't think. The speed boost, you're gonna kind of feel that because any tile could potentially do that, especially when like any tile could be. You just drop the pallet on him when he's about to do it. Especially now since the pallets have been fucked by a base kit change that gives them even more leeway. Oni is feeling that change. But yeah, so the Wraith is not going to be affected. He's still going to be a keystone character. Recent buffs the Wraith have made a wee bit overpowered. But the 1.25 seconds, it's nice, but it doesn't really affect how you play this character. So like you're still gonna be catching them when they're healing. You just have to get a wee bit closer to them now. Which big whoop. They're never gonna see it coming anyway. We'll continue monitoring how he performs and potentially have more changes for him in the future. That is the most worrying thing he should be reading here. Not the changes he's getting, what they might do to him later. Okay, so next, Billy. Death Engravings. Decreases heat generated while charging by 14%. Fantastic. Tomb Engravings. Decreases heat generated while charging by 14%. Added effect. These are all added effects to what they do already. Mother's Helpers. Charge speed bonus after being stunned increased to 18% was 12. Tuned Carburetor. Charge speed bonus increased to 25% was 20. That's not going to help that add-on at all. 110 is... No, it's not going to help it. Black Grease. Increases chainsaw charge speed by 18% for 30 seconds after being blinded. That was probably the one where the stupid flashlight shine on him. That's not gonna do much for him though. Maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe against Swift you will want to bring it. Increases action speed by 20% when breaking pallets or walls or damaging generators while overheated. That's useless. That is useless. The engraving add-ons are very popular with players, but increased charge time means he generates significantly more heat for a full charge. The heat modifier has been reduced. Okay, so possibly the engravings will feel a little better now, but that is not what he wanted to read today. That's not what Billy players wanted to read today. Just a slight pass on him. Not really that's not the full pass I think this character needed. I think he's still going to be in the same place. Possibly he'll move up to Keystone, not because he's been buffed, but because Nemesis I don't think is Keystone. I think if he is, he's the weakest one. And Trickster is getting up there. Trickster continues to get better and better. So I don't think that's what he wanted to read today. Nurse, Torn Bookmark. Remove the line of sight restriction, increase brink recharge time by 50%. The line of sight restriction wasn't terribly fun, so we've replaced it with a new downside that we feel is more in line with what players would expect. Okay, so that's still going to be good on Nurse. Myers, Memorial Flower, rarity decreased to common. That is one of the best things that character could have read. Vanity Mirror, remove speed penalty. That's another good one. And then they remove the speed penalty on the Tombstone. So bye-bye Fat Myers. The rarity change to Memorial Flower brings the shape in line with the other killers in terms of add-on rarity distribution. We removed the movement speed penalties for prevented two add-ons for realistically enabling their intended playstyles. Our condolences to players who have used add-ons for comedic purpose. Rip Demi. Yeah, I think if they were going to make a Myers add-on common, they chose the right one, the Memorial Flower. The Memorial Flower essentially needs to be used every single game. The Vanity Mirror, though. The remove speed penalty on the Vanity Mirror is something that we should be keeping an eye on. 115 for 16 meters of aura reveal. If you slap on, I don't like monitor and abuse very much, but in this situation, you slap on monitor and abuse, 8 meter tear radius on Myers the entire game. No reveal, no 32 meters after an uncloak. Myers, ladies and gentlemen, with that add-on, could potentially now be better than Ghostface. Which is why, if that's as good as I think he's going to be, that might be what we tier him with from now on. Although, it's just... Vanity Mirror, bro. That one, that's a good bust. This is not the full add-on pass that we want for Myers, though. Myers needs more than this. But Vanity Mirror is a good start, and I think he might be transformed a little bit with that. Hag, Waterlogged Shoe, increased speed bonus to 4.5. It was 2. So that one right there, my friends, is not gonna see any play. It's still the one that doesn't let you teleport, right? That's the one I'm thinking of. If it doesn't do that, it's still trash. That's not gonna help that add-on like at all. Sucks. It's pretty fucking shit. I thought Hag was gonna get more, but because she has a lot more bad add-ons that are hilariously bad, but a 4.6 to be a worse Freddy Snare, I don't see that happening. I think it is good that she can move at regular speed with it now, but that's not going to help her. Pig, here we go. Bag of Gears, increased reverse bear trap setting speed to 50% was 20. That's... Crate of Gears, decreased the jigsaw box search penalty to 33 was 43. Tampered timer, decreased reverse bear trap death timer modification to 20 seconds was 30 seconds. Okay, so they kind of hit that combo on her, which, I mean... that combo wasn't really helping her, so it's like it's like, oh well, they nerfed Pig's best add-on combination. Okay, yeah, they did, but like, Pig sucks, and that doesn't help her. So yeah, they did, but they're giving her a lot more than that. So I don't really care that they nerfed that. It sucks that they nerfed it, but it's whatever. Add-on rule set number 2, decrease rarity to rare. So that they got rule set number 2 is still there. They made it. Is that green? They made that green. Wow. Amanda's Letter. Jigsaw box reduction removed. Good. Aura reveal range increased to 16 meters was 12. Okay, so it sounds like the bear trap thing is still going to be there, which means it's still likely not going to be very good. However, 16 meters of aura reveal, that is, that's a little bit more enticing. Maybe it could work with the the fucking sketch. So you have 2 traps, faster lunge, and 16 meters of aura reveal. You'll lose 2 bear traps, but you'll get lots of aura reveal throughout the match. That might be a worthwhile trade now there's another add-on that does more things besides just give her 1 more trap. So maybe that'll be worth it. We'll see. We'll read the full description and see if... I wish they just let her keep her fucking bear traps. That's the buff it needed, but whatever. John's medical file. Increases crouch move speed by 6%. Okay. Not too bad. Razor wires. Failing a jigsaw skill check while the survivor is uninjured will injure the survivor. Not too bad, but still, you can't rely on people failing those skill checks for add-ons. It's a throwaway, but whatever. Notice they're getting rid of a lot of the shitty status effects. Those fucking awful status effects add-ons that she had where they had a hemorrhage status effect while the bear trap was on. Terrible. How about, I think they need to rework those status effects, but that's beside the point. Workshop Grease. Increases ambush attack charge speed by 50%, decreases the missed cooldown by 25%. Increase the rarity to uncommon was common. That's the new videotape, because they made videotape or iridescent. So, that's gonna be alright. That's gonna be one of her best add-ons. Combine that with the 6% more movement speed while she's crouched. Shouldn't be too bad. What next? We worked out on Last Will. Increases her ambush attack movement speed by 6%. That was something I said they should do. I think she should have gotten something in the base kit there. But that's going to be interesting. Increases time to charge the ambush attack by 66%. Okay. So note that the ambush attack charge speed and then the 66% increased time to charge. So it has a drawback. Because it has a drawback, I don't know if that's going to be worth it. Maybe maybe it'll be good when you combine it with the other one, with the workshop grease. So, but we're increase the 50%, 66%. So this add-on trumps the workshop grease. But so it'll feel like normal almost. I don't know. Maybe if it's particularly good at anti-looping, then it might be worth it. But we'll see there. Interlocking Razor, we went over that one already. Fix a deep wound. Not the greatest, but it's a throwaway, so whatever. Jigsaw's annotated plan. Increases available reverse bear traps by 1. Increases reverse bear trap death timer by 10 seconds. Whenever a generator is completed, 10 seconds are removed from the death timer of all active reverse bear traps. That's going to be interesting. Also, she has a double combination that can get her up to 6 reverse bear traps now. Jigsaw Sketch and Jigsaw's annotated plan can give her 6 RBTs. Interesting. This character's looking better. I don't know how good she's going to be, but she's looking a lot better now. Increases reverse bear trap death timer by 10 seconds. Whenever generator is completed, 10 seconds removed from the death timer. So that's kind of an answer to the problem that she has, where that could arguably be base kit, the 10 seconds. Because they slam the gens on her, and then, like, there's no punishment on the people that already have active reverse bear traps. That's an interesting. Jigsaw Sketch increases available reverse bear traps by 1 when a survivor working on a generator with a reverse bear trap. When a survivor with a reverse bear trap is working on a gen, their aura is revealed. That's interesting as well. We went over that one already. And then the videotape. All the survivors begin with the reverse bear traps installed. That is going to be very good. Now, I saw somebody commented that saying that it does have a few problems. Like, even when you read it on paper, like, they could just go to the box that's right next to them and potentially get it off. I mean, yes, they could, but, like, that's not consistently going to be happening. Like, she is an RNG-based character, and you know what? For the potential benefit that it could give you, that risk is worth it. Because the potential benefit it gives you is a good early game. And that's worth every fucking potential downside you can have. That's why that 10 bear traps on Trapper is going to see a lot of play, I think. Because it helps the early game. The early game is so fundamentally flawed right now that whatever potential downside that it could possibly have is negated by the fact that you could have a good early game. So I think that's going to see play. I think her best combination is still going to be videotape with Jigsaw Sketch to ensure a good early game. However, upon reading this, she has other stuff she can work with as well. The dash got some things. Less emphasis on those shitty status effects. We're happy to announce that the pig is getting an add-on balance pass. We have replaced a number of underperforming and unpopular add-ons with new effects and increased the values on others to make them more effective. And then they talk about the Tamper Tire and Creative Gears combo has been reduced. And so this is overall stronger, more diverse, and more fun to play. I believe that this is good. I believe this is a very good set of changes. Pig and Trapper were their biggest passes here, and they did good on both of them. I think both of them are going to have new life breathed into them. I think she will now be ready for the bomb as well. Spirit. This is a nerf. While phase walking, survivors within 24 meters of the spirits, not the husk, will hear a directional audio cue that gains volume with proximity. And so it seems like that's not going to be going away. Was that the audio bug that she had? I don't think that's the one she had. I think that's worse than what I thought it was going to be. And then that they're not doing the dust yet. They already announced that the dust is coming, but they're not doing it yet. So if this 24 meters thing is good at giving her away, the dust is just going to be icing on the cake. It's all down to if it matters. That's what it's down to. Does it matter? Which we'll see when we get there. Now, let's see the add-ons. Jumper, Bonsai. Added effect increases passive phasing duration by 50%. I think passive phasing is stupid myself. I think it gets bad players, but who cares? Dried Cherry Blossom. Survivors trigger Killer Instinct when they become within 4 meters of the spirit while she is phasing. Scratch marks are no longer visible while using the power. I don't like that. I saw some people like that, but I don't. You can't see the scratch marks. But I guess if they're within 4 meters of her, and then there's a new one, Mother's Glasses, to trigger the Killer Instinct when they come within 2 meters of the husk. That's the husk. So it gives her some clues about what she is kind of doing. Maybe if you use both of them at a loop, you'll kind of get a proximity reading on them. I think they're testable. I think they're testable, but I don't have high expectations for them. I think they both sound kind of gimmicky and not very good. Wakazashi Saya. During Yamaoka's haunting, use the active ability button to return to the husk and end the haunting. So that one might be okay. It's the new you can combine that one with the husk where they get within 4 meters or 2 meters of it. So that one might be okay. But the drawbacks just seem pretty bad. Uchiwa instantly recharges Yamaoka's haunting when stunned by a pallet. So, interesting. If you miss and get hit by the pallet, your power's instantly back. So that one might be alright, especially with the new pallets, and she's a character that relies on those pallet exchanges, which are worse now because of the buff that Survivors got that was really big. When the Yamaoka's haunting ends, the spirit husk explodes for any vault, and any vaults within 4 meters are blocked for 5 seconds. I don't think that's going to be good at all. Maybe you can, do something at a TL with it, which, yeah, the spirit really needed help with those TLs. I don't know about that one. Maybe she could, 5 seconds is not a lot of time. I'm trying to think of stuff you could do with it, but, I don't know. She should have one that lets her go through windows. The phasing sound is heard by all survivors. That one might be okay. The Furin one. Phasing sound is heard by all survivors. Could cause some... gives her some of her miscommunication back. That one might be okay. But it gains volume during proximity. So I don't know if that one's going to be good either. Instantly recharges Yamaoka's haunting after breaking a pallet or a wall. Now that one's going to be alright right there. That one might be one of her best add-ons, because she sucks when she's in cooldown right now. The following add-ons have been removed. Bloody hair, Bruce, dirty, father's glasses, so her iridescent got taken out. New terror radius music. The spirit's phase walking mind games have evolved into something... whatever. By adding some audio cues, it should give sharp survivors a chance to figure out what she's doing and react accordingly. Along with this, we've replaced some of her more problematic / boring add-ons, hate that word, with the new ones that should provide more varied options for potential playstyles. I think this is going to limit her. I think it forces her onto her meta. I don't find any of this appealing. I think there's some stuff that's testable, and maybe it will be good, but it'll be okay, but I am not impressed with what they've done with her here. I don't think Behavior knows how to nerf a character. I don't. All their nerfs are extremely bad. Their nerfs make their characters less fun to play. Ask Shitslinger and Hillbilly about that one. Like, if you wanted to nerf the character, you need to provide her with out of the box, unorthodox add-ons. That's what she needed to feel a little bit more fun. Like going through the window for the one that will like how about this? She can go through windows without having to vault over them during her haunting, and it blocks the window for 5 seconds. There you go. The fact that she still has to and wait for the haunting to end and explodes the thing, it means that you're never going to get any utility out of this. Like, I don't know what the hell that is. Like, what is she supposed to do with that? I guess if she starts it at the other side of a long wall and then goes around and then does it there, then maybe it will be okay. Well, it's not, like, maybe at some jungle gyms, it's worth testing. Like, it's worth testing, but the situations that I feel like it's going to be good at are just so few and far between. So, I don't know. I don't know there. It's worth testing, and maybe it will be better than it sounds on paper. Maybe at Jungle Gyms and Killer Shack, the Husk one will be good, and then maybe the scratch mark ones will have more utility than I'm thinking. I don't know. I just think that she looks way less fun to play as now, because she's fun to play as because of the amount of control you have on the situation. I don't know. I don't see it anymore, bro. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't see it. This is not what you wanted to read. Plague. Oh no. If the power button's released early, Vile Purge should continue charging to the minimum threshold instead of canceling and entering cooldown. The cooldown's movement speed increased to 2.3 to 3.6. That you might feel that one. Base infection time increased to 40. Interacting with infected objects generates 2 times more sickness over time than interacting with non-infected objects. Survivors are gonna feel that when they're slamming a gen, and when they're like sick. So objective speed, the speed of the objective will now make them broken a lot faster. So like that might be okay. You'll see more brokens throughout a match, and hopefully you will hit that game state where you want. At a faster rate where it could be considered not winning the game. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, that for this character, I've been saying this forever, in order to get a board state that she likes, where the board is where she wants it, when all the pieces on the board are where she wants them, everybody's broken, the amount of effort that it takes for her to do that makes it so she's won the fucking match already. Like literally. She's won the fucking match. And then what happens is that they cleanse and are back in the game. Like the cleansing results in a second win being breathed in for the survivors. Not that cleansing is good, and if you do it at the wrong time, it can kill you. I'm not saying cleansing is like always what you want to be doing. And so sometimes she gets there and it's too late. Like if she gets to that board state where there's like 1 gen left, and well, if she does that, the survivors are gonna cleanse anyway. But like, hopefully this will cause people to cleanse less, because I still think cleansing is too good right now. A full heal, especially if you do it out of the way, I still think that is insane. I think it's insane on her. So hopefully this makes her board state less hard to get with that one simple change right there in the base kit. So it's realistic that everybody's going to be broken every single game without you having to put so much effort that you've pretty much won the game or have lost the game already, depending on game state. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Time to cleanse at a fountain was increased to 8 seconds. I wish that was more like 12. I wish it was like 12 seconds. But cleansing's still an appealing option, it looks like, when you've won already. Limestone Steel. Object infection bonus increased to 20 seconds plus 5 seconds. So if you run that now, the 20 seconds of extra infection means that everything you puke on is going to be infected for a minute. That's actually quite crazy. I think those options now are a bit more appealing. Emetic Potion. Increased Vile Purge effectiveness to 30% was 25, and Hematite Seal. Object infection bonus increased to 30 seconds was 10 seconds. So is that another boost? So 40 plus 30, is that 70 seconds? 40 seconds. What's 35? So there you go. That's 70 seconds of object infection, I think. If that does what I'm thinking it does. Infected emetic and decreased vial purge effectiveness to 40% was 50%. So that's her effectiveness add-ons, which I don't even know if she's gonna like run those anymore. Ash and Apple, remove object infection duration modifier. Added effect increases the number of pools of devotion in the trial by 1. They're playing around with the amount of the pools of devotion, which is interesting. I don't know if she's going to want more or less of those, because if there's more, they potentially have more of a place to run over and fuck you. If they start cleansing and there's like 1 gen left, they have more places to go fuck you. But if there's less of them, you get cleansed, or you can get overstimulated a lot easier. My guess is that less is going to be better. That's my guess right now. I think that less pools are going to be better, because I think if you manage your time correctly, the survivors having limited fountains is better. But you seem to have to be winning the game to like do that. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting to work with. Rubbing oil, reduced vial purge charge speed bonus to 50% was 100. I don't see the reason to nerf that. I didn't think it was ever that good. I thought the cooldown one was better. Exorcism Amulet, increased corrupt purge duration bonus to 10 seconds was 6. Devotee's Amulet, increased corrupt purge duration bonus to 20 seconds was 8 seconds. So, quite a big boost to your corrupt purge duration there. Interesting. Black Incense, they decreased the aura reveal to 3 seconds. The fact that she still gets it means it's still going to be alright. Iridescent Seal, remove the speed penalty while holding corrupt purge. That's the one where they, like, pop a gen and then, you like get it, right? I don't know if that one's gonna be good. Maybe with the amulet for 20 extra seconds, it'll be all right. But we'll see. But we'll read that when it comes out. Prayer Tablet Fragment. Vial Purge no longer affects survivors. Increases object infection duration by 40 seconds. Increases infection from infected objects by 100%. Increases the DBS. We went over that one. Don't know how that's gonna work. It's going to be 80 seconds of object infection. But that has a downside. I think you're just going to want to stick to the just more time, like 20 seconds and 30 seconds. I don't think the extra 10 seconds is worth the downsides. So I don't think that's going to be good, now that we see the rest of her kit. Survivors who cleanse in fountains have their auras revealed for 4 seconds. I don't think that's going to be that great. It's only going to be good in those weird situations where you're chasing somebody and then they cleanse. But I think the one that we're about to see is a little better. The 2 down. Decreases the number of pools of devotion in the trial by 2. So, I think that's going to be okay. If she can manage her own time correctly, I think that should be alright. It will force them where to go. I think that will give her a bit more control over what she's doing. Incensed Ointment. Ingesting corruption at the pools causes all survivors within the terror radius to scream and reveal their location. I think that's better than the aura one. I think that's a little bit better. I kind of like that one. Violent increases velocity of the vomit projectiles by 10%. That one's going to be alright as well. So, overall, a bit better than I was expecting. I don't know how good she's going to be. I still think she's going to be more on the gimmicky side. But, I think the standout add-ons, honestly, are the infection time add-ons. Her base infection buffs, and then the add-ons to make things infected longer. That will force other people, like, if they want to actually rush the generators, they will have to take infections, or she slows the game down. So, it's either take an infection or slow the game down. And I think that is going to be probably the best way to get infections now, because they have to do the objective. It puts them in kind of a situation where it's forcing them on the generators that are infected. I think that right there is going to be better than the actual purge to like infect them, because of how inconsistent and bad the vial purges are. I think you're going to want to do the velocity. For the purge add-ons, I think you're going to want to do the velocity. And then the base isn't bad. The base 40 seconds still isn't bad. Well, she has 40 seconds for base infections. That's okay. 35 seconds, because 35 seconds feels like nothing in the game. Maybe with one add-on for the 20 seconds, I still feel like you're going to want to be doing the infection. 30 seconds of bonus infection. So that'll be 70 seconds combined with the Vile Emetech for increased velocity. That might infect them a little easier and get your stuff over with. I don't know. Again, she has some testable options now. These changes are intended to be a general buff to enhance the quality of life for the plague. It was too common for players to attempt for a quick purge and release change the behavior of early releases to charge the minimum threshold. Buff the options for focusing on infecting objects during the trial, with infected objects now increasing infection faster than the non-infected ones. So, and since infected survivors can are the one they interact with the infected gens the most. I think she has a testable kit now. Again, it's hard to tell because a lot of these characters are getting so much. It's all testable. We got to go in and test it to see exactly what this does for her. I think she could be enhanced a little bit by this because she's less focused on going around and having to infect everybody manually. I think she's getting a strong passive buff overall, and I think this could actually help her. I think this could actually help her out just a little bit. Less pools of devotion add-ons. That one's interesting. I think she has options now, whereas before you're just using infection add-ons and then maybe another pool. I think she's got options. I think this was a very decent buff, and again, this buff was done assuming she's bad. So I don't know where all this A tier shit's coming from. They wouldn't buff an A tier like this. Shitslinger must now enter an aim animation must now wait for the enter aim animation to complete before being able to fire. He must wait for the enter aim animation. Wow, this character sounds fun. You must now wait to do the enter aim animation. The Shitslinger must now wait for the exit aim animation to complete before being able to attack. So, basically, fucking Johnny Quinn or whatever his name is just, oh, my back! I got some bad back! And he can't fucking hold his gun right. This looks awful. This looks very, very shit. It now takes a full second if you want to. That thing you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you press and release the button, that thing that takes like half a second? It's that total at maximum. I feel like what used to take 0.4 seconds is now going to take 1 second. This forces commitment out of him and hurts his zoning. Very, very bad. This sucks for him. Now, it does still emphasize attacks and not kicking pallets, but still, I feel like he's going to be on cooldown and not able to do anything. This hurts him. It does not matter what fucking system you play on. This hurts him. His zoning is now extremely bad. It forces commitment out of him. Like it forces him to do something. Whereas before he had control over what he wanted to do, now he has to do something. If he aims that gun, he needs to shoot it. Every time. Increased terror radius to 32 meters. Was 24 meters. Now he definitely deserved a 24 meter radius because like, the nurse's calling stuff would definitely now be his best stuff easy, but they nerfed that too. The cooldown when a survivor breaks free is now the same as a successful hit cooldown. It was longer before, so that's a buff, but big whoop. Gold Creek Whiskey. Remove the movement speed penalty. Remove the movement speed penalty. Iridescent Coin. Decrease range requirement to 12 meters. Maybe he could still do the nurse's calling stuff if you do that with the marshal's badge and stuff, but like that, I don't know. Iridescent Coin, decreased the range requirement of 12, was 15, bad. That could say like 8 now, and it would be okay. Hellshire Iron, when a survivor is speared, gain undetectable. They expect to resist for 10 seconds after the survivor is no longer speared. That should be like 30 seconds. You were unhappy with how EB was insta-scope survivors. You know what? Maybe you should have thought about that before you put a fucking gun character in the game. Embarrassing. This character is going to be bad now. I mean, leaving players a choice to break the reel early in exchange for losing out on the damage / deep wound. Bad. This character's bad now. I don't think he's going to be Keystone anymore. And if he is, it's going to be barely. I think he's definitely going to be worse than Huntress. I think he's going to be worse than Trickster now, too. So, rip Shitslinger. Rip, Shitslinger. Ghostface. Okay, here we go. Night Shroud recovery was decreased to 24 seconds, was 30. And that's a base buff. And the add-ons, decreased Night Shroud recovery modifier to 2 seconds was 4. Decreased the Night Shroud recovery modifier to 3 seconds was 6. And then decreased Night Shroud recovery modifier to 4 was 8. Okay, so basically, they gave him a base Night Shroud recovery buff, and then nerfed all his only 3 add-ons. Okay, let me explain why this doesn't matter. Player feedback about Ghostface add-ons were very clear. The decreased recovery time was more appealing than any other option. In light of this, we have baked in roughly half the effects of these add-ons to encourage a wider variety of selection. Okay, he doesn't need that. He needs an add-on pass. Okay, that's what this fucking guy needs. The only reason that that these 3 add-ons were used so much is because the rest of the power is shit. Okay, that facts. That's why. The power, because they're shit. The rest of his kit isn't good. He needs an add-on pass. What you need to do to him is go through and rework his effects entirely. Increased movement speed while crouching, I think would be cute. Like he gets a 5% haste after coming up from a crouch for like 5 seconds. Like, that'd be cool. Be kind of like Wraith's little speed boost. Or when he comes out of Night Shroud, he gets 5% haste or something. Like, he needs some actual add-ons. You could get some of the, like, after you stalk somebody, or I don't know. When you down somebody, any survivor that has stalk lets off a scream notification, and then in exchange for their stalk. Like, all their stalk goes away, but they give off a scream notification. Convert that stalk you've been doing up on people to do something. Like, he needs a new kit. That's his problem. They thought he was gonna be good at doing something. He's actually bad at doing the thing he's trying to do. As a result, he just walks around with no tear radius, and that's his power. He needs a new kit. That's what he needs. He needs an add-on pass desperately. So it's not that the pens and the better recovery were just so good because oh my god, they're just such good options. They're his only options. I'm not going to change my add-on builds at all because the rest of his shit is so useless. I just don't think they understand that yet. I think they have the right data, but they're making the wrong decision with the right data. Something you're going to see a lot during MMR. Blight, Adrenaline Vial, increased rush token recharge bonus to 1 second, was 0.75. Added effect increases rushing speed by 10%. Summoning Stone, increased pallet blocking rate. So he didn't take any nerfs. I thought for sure he was going to take some nerfs on that ring. Adrenaline Vial is supposed to enable an alternative straight-line dash playstyle for players interested in novelty. While it's still unlikely to be stronger than baseline Blight play, increases movement speed and choke and recharge to make the alternate playstyle a bit more viable. The values on the Summoning Stone have been increased to better reflect its perk, Blood Favor. So, Blight didn't get nerfed. So, good for him. He's going to be enjoying his number 3 status as Twins move up to number 2 to take the Spirit's place. Survivor perks... we kind of went over all these already. They still don't clarify if Vigil stacks. There's Repressed Alliance again. Killer perks are still all bad. And then, yeah. That's kind of it. I think the last thing to go over are the Boon totems. There's 3 Survivor perks. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. One's called Clairvoyance, and it lets you, like, see the auras of gens and hooks. Bad. Throwaway perk. And then we got 2 Boon Totem perks, okay? The Boon Totem perks, one of them lets you, if you're within range of the totem, the killer doesn't get to see your scratch marks. That's one. And then the second one is, healing. You can heal without a med kit, and your healings increase by, like, 100% if you're there. So, I don't know about those. The healing one is definitely going to be better, but I think especially if there's like a 3-gen situation and the killer could like isolate your totem, I don't know. I think they erred on the side of caution. I think they're definitely good effects if you can proc them. I think Swift can use them, but Swift can use anything. So I don't know. The fact that it's not cross map means they're probably not going to be as good as they could be. So we'll see how they feel though. Not too worried about those. I think they decided to make them kind of limited just for a first round. I think the mechanic could potentially break the game still. of a rework or even the right effect. I just don't think the right effect is there yet. The healing one could definitely be decent though. If you have like, listen, here's what the healing one can do that people aren't realizing yet. If the killer has a 3-gen, okay, and the survivors can go bless a Boon totem on the other side of the map, and then it will be much easier for them to break that 3-gen. Okay, that's why that healing one is okay, because it can cause comebacks in late game if the killer has a 3-gen on you. Faster healing, don't need your teammates to do it. That one can actually be very good in the right hands and in the right situation. The one that requires the one for the scratch marks won't be that good because the killer will know it's there because they know that you had scratch marks before and now you don't. So that one, and it doesn't hide blood, I don't think. So Victor ain't gonna feel it. But the thing I don't like about the mechanic overall is that the killers can't destroy the totems. They can only remove the blessing, which means the survivor can go over and bless it again. And you can also get both effects. Let's keep that in mind. You can also get both effects because you can once you cleanse one totem, your entire Boon loadout is there. But oh wait, no, it's individual. Is it for the whole team or not? I forget how the stupid mechanic works. I'll probably make another video on the Boon totems, but like, especially when I see them a bit more. But I don't think they're going to be that impactful yet. I think the healing one has potential, but don't be worried about it. These ones are first round draft, so we'll see what they do. Overall, not the best patch in the game's history. Pig, Plague, and Trapper are gonna enjoy it though. Shitslinger got gutted. He's in trouble. But everything else, it's all right. I'm getting the hell out of here, lads. GG's.